Let's talk 5 things the Vikings need to do this offseason.
Got to do it.
Back to Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Lupagus here with Onebar, who apparently is somewhere tropical in nature.
Yep, and you know what? The temperature is nice. And it's perfect for drinking. I've drank so much this week I could kill a small moose.
Wow. Hopefully that moose is not my mother. You stay away from her.
Oh my God.
All right. On this episode, we're going to talk about 5 things the Vikings don't have to do, but they need to do. They must do this off season. We got 5 of them. Before we do, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the vids. Subscription's been coming hot and heavy. I can see 9,000 subscribers just over the horizon. It's as beautiful as Onebar's background right now.
Yeah, let's go. Also representing the Vikings here too, getting a lot of weird looks. But yeah, hit that sub button. Let's get the 9,000. These are things the Vikings have to do. There are no exceptions.
Have to do. And I actually thought, wasn't Hawaii like Alaska? Isn't there a lot of Vikings fans there?
There's a couple. I've seen a lot of just a lot of randomness. I'm the only Vikings shirt I've seen so far.
No random skull chance just breaking out at the beach, huh?
Not yet. I might try one today.
Well, let's start with the most obvious thing the Vikings must do, need to do, have to do this offseason. That is extend Justin Jefferson, get their star receiver here long-term.
Yeah, 23 years old. Let's make this man happy. They already asked him. He said, I want to go somewhere where they want me. Let's show them. Let's show them early. Let's not wait till the end. Let's not wait till the last year of the contract. We've seen how that goes with wide receivers. They get Diva comes out. All of a sudden, you're like, screw you. They're out of here. Pay this man. Pay him now.
What did you say comes out?
Diva.
Oh.
Divaness.
Yeah, absolutely. Get this man everything he wants, everything he deserves. Let's show him the love. Let's just splash and splurt money all over his face. All right, let's go to the next one. This one, I'm going to make some kind of rude, but we got to trim some veteran fat on this roster. Snip, 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 snip.
Yeah, I mean, not even just because of their contracts, but also because they don't appear to be very good anymore. So we've said it multiple times, multiple videos. This offseason will probably hurt our hearts a little bit, but it's more than time. It is time.
Yeah, I think the question is, how do you cut it? It may not just be flat out cutting. Maybe they try to move some players for some draft picks. I mean, I don't think fans are going to like the compensation they get, but the Vikings only have like 4 picks right now. So anything they can get in return would be a bonus. You're going to save some salary cap space. So really, they got to do some real hard looking at this roster. And I think a youth movement is in order.
Yeah, I mean, we can go with a pie in the sky and think we're going to get all this great trade compensation for somebody, but nobody's going to trade for a Dalvin Cook with that contract. Adam Thielen, older than balls. Some of these guys are just set to make a ton of money. So I just think it's going to end up just being, we're going to eat some money. We're going to cut them flat out.
Dump and a hump.
Not PP though. We want Patrick Peterson back. I do anyways.
Wow. Let's go with another guy. Maybe the Vikings should extend. Never thought, a year ago we'd be saying this, but let's keep Bradbury in house.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I can see 2 points. Number one, I think you want to keep him here. Not only did he improve last year, but now you got your whole line together again. I mean, from left to right, you got Darrisaw, you got Cleveland, Bradbury, Ingram, and Brian O'Neill, assuming he's healthy by week 1. That is a strong overall young offensive line. Let's keep that thing intact. Let's keep that chemistry together. Yes, you can argue Bradbury still struggles against the pass. Maybe there's some better guys out there who can anchor, but why mix it up? Bradbury's proven he's worth another contract. Let's get it done. Let's keep Garrett Bradbury in-house.
Yeah, and Bradbury, I think, obviously had a very good season, unexpectedly good season. The other side of it is I just don't think there's really any other options. I mean, what are you going to do? Draft a 4th-round center? You're going to bring somebody in that's just like, it's not very good and probably overpay for him. So I say as long as the price is right and if Bradbury isn't all of a sudden just commanding this weird amount of money, which he shouldn't, let's lock him up. We got to keep this offensive line intact. And Garrett Bradbury, welcome you back with open arms.
Well, and to the familiarity him and Kirk Cousins have, Cousins will be the quarterback next year. So the fact that they know each other, I mean, he knows the way Garrett Bradbury's cheeks and his taint align with his hands when he's under there. So that's very important.
Feel all the lines, the veins, and nooks and crannies. Yeah.
You get someone in there with unfamiliar lumps, that's going to cause some problems. So they know each other. His butt was made for Cousins' hands.
I hate the fact that we have to spend this much on a center. Like, we got to re-up on Bradbury, especially after a one and done. But like I said, it's got to. This offensive line cannot take a step back.
Absolutely
not an option.
And speaking of money, how about one splashy free agent signing for these Vikings?
Yeah, I mean, on the defensive side of the ball is my hope, and whether it's defensive line, linebacker, a cornerback. I mean, there's some big names out there that if you go look at the free agents, I mean, Sutton, the cornerback from Pittsburgh, gets me all hot and tingly. Edmonds, the linebacker from the Bills, gets me very excited. Just one splashy, one big ass signing.
Yeah, it would be really nice, and I hope it's at I hope it's at the corner position actually, because that's one to me. You can be rolling a lot of young guys regardless. You got Caleb Evans, you got Andrew Booth Jr. Both barely played the rookie year. It's almost be like having two new rookies. Maybe you draft a rookie early. You got Cam Dancer, who's still young. This would be a young secondary group. So having a veteran, a splashy veteran who's proven would be huge for the Vikings, and that's the splash I want to see him make.
Yeah, and this is a new free agent signing, not like re-signing Patrick Peterson or Tomlinson. I was just looking at the top free agents of 2023 coming up, and it was very surprising to see Tomlinson and Patrick Peterson in the top 15. So those dudes are going to, even Patrick Peterson being old as he is, he's going to command some money. I want him back.
And remember,
did I mention that?
Remember, people pay to get wet. Very important to remember that.
People pay to get wet.
Last one.
What's that from?
It's from Draft Day.
Oh,
people pay to get wet, Sonny. People pay to get wet.
People pay to get wet.
Last one here. How about we start getting a future plan in place at quarterback?
Yeah, controversial topic. Everybody seems to be one side or the other. Lupagus, go ahead.
Yeah, and to me, I think there's no question Kirk Cousins is the quarterback next year, but I think you got to start preparing for the future. He's what, 36, something like that, or he will be
35.
Yeah, and I don't think it has to be a first-round quarterback this year necessarily, but, maybe a mid-round guy that you can develop, you hope you hit on. I think the Vikings carry 3 quarterbacks this year. I'd like to see at least one young guy. Maybe he's got some potential. Maybe he can be the answer. If not, you draft a guy next year. But as long as they make some move in the right direction to get that young guy here, the long-term answer in-house. And who knows? I mean, I'm not going to rule out trade for somebody else. Kwesi, he knows what he wants. He finds what he wants. So Trey Lance, Drew Lock, maybe someone like that is who he likes too. So there's always that option. So I think the plan needs to at least be made to get the future in-house here.
Yeah, appears to be a yoga class setting up right next to me, or I'm starting to look like a pervert standing here with my phone pretty much pointed at them. But Anthony Richardson seems to be the name that everybody wants in the draft. Like, as far as if you're a Vikings fan, let's get this guy. He's the guy that's always there around 23. As we know, quarterbacks seem to rise up the charts as we get closer to the draft. But first rounder this year, not so much. It'd be nice if we had that second rounder. Granted, I love TJ Hawkinson, but that would be the one where it'd be like, all right, let's maybe get a second round guy. But Trey Lance is getting floated around. Hey, he's for sale. Maybe a third round pick only, whatever. So I'm starting to. In the past, I've been like, screw it, let's just roll with Kirk Cousins. But it's time. Let's maybe get somebody in place, at least somebody to look at. He might not work, but let's just get somebody back there. Nick Mullins ain't the guy.
No, Nick Mullins is a good backup, but he's not the future starter. And I do think the Vikings are going to try to compete next year. So I don't think they want to use that first round pick on a quarterback. But if someone does fall to them, they feel they have to pull the trigger. I'm not going to rule it out, but this team can definitely still compete for the North again. There's no reason they can't. Lions are going to be better, but the Vikings should be right in the mix too. So this team is going to want to compete and use that first pick on a position that they need.
We all say that we don't want a first round quarterback this year with Kirk Cousins because it's really not going to help us. But we all know damn well if we took one, we'd be so excited.
Topless, pouring beers in ourselves, pouring Lift Bridge over our nipples. Guaranteed.
Yeah, my camera. We need to wrap this up.
All right. Well, we're almost done. We're done. That was it.
Out here by security.
Those are the 5 things the Vikings need to do this offseason before Onebar gets arrested. Remember this: the egg came before the chicken.
Really?